He was in the area of asteroids 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, and 330. He began by visiting them to seek an occupation and to learn. The first was inhabited by a king. The king sat, dressed in purple and ermine, on a very simple and yet majestic throne. "Ah, this is a subject," exclaimed the king, when he perceived the little prince. And the little prince wondered, how can he know me, since he has never seen me before? He did not know that for kings the word is very simplified. All men are subjects. "See that I can see you better," said the king, who was very proud to be king for someone. The little prince looked around for a seat, but the whole world was full of the ermine cloak. He remained standing, and as he was tired, he yawned. "It is the contrary to the label to yawn in the presence of a king," said the monarch. "I forbid it." "I cannot help it," replied the little prince, quite confused. "I had a long trip, and I did not sleep." "Then," said the king, "I order you to yawn. I have not seen anyone yawn in years. Yawning is for me curiosities." "Come on!" "Still yawns. It's an order." "It intimidates me. I cannot any more," said the little prince, blushing. Replied the king. "So I order you sometimes to yawn, and sometimes to—" He stammered a little, and looked annoyed, for the king was determined that his authority should be respected. He did not tolerate disobedience. He was an absolute monarch, but since he was very good, he gave reasonable orders. "If I order," he said fluently, "if I order a general to change into a seabird, and if the general did not obey, I would not be the general's fault. It would not be the general's fault. It would be my fault." "May I sit?" inquired the little prince timidly. "I order you to sit down," replied the king, who brought back majestically a piece of his ermine mantle. But the little prince was astonished. The planet was tiny. On what could the king reign? "Sir," said he, "I beg your pardon for questioning you." "I order you to question me," said the king hastily. "Sir, what are you ruling on?" "On everything," replied the king with great simplicity. "Mostly?" The king, in a discreet gesture, pointed to his planet, the other planets, and the stars. "On all this," said the little prince. "On all that," answered the king. For not only was he an absolute monarch, but he was a universal monarch. "And the stars obey you?" "Of course," said the king. "They obey immediately. I do not tolerate indiscipline."